In this video, we're going to practice solving a couple of equations by the method of factoring. So let me show you an example while we discuss the main idea. So our first example is this. We're going to solve 3x cubed equals 12x by factoring. Now here's the main idea. The main idea is something called the zero product property, or maybe even the zero factor property. And it says that if you have two quantities multiplied together, and you don't know what they are, but you know that their product is equal to 0, that means that one of them must be equal to 0. So if a times b equals 0, then either a equals 0 or b equals 0. So when we're solving by factoring, our first step is going to be to get 0 on one side. And when we do that, in this case, we have 3x cubed equals 12x. We're going to subtract the 12x from both sides. So we have 3x cubed minus 12x equals 0. And then we'll factor the other side. Okay, so 3x cubed minus 12x has a greatest common factor of a 3x, leaving us with x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. That can still be factored because x squared minus 4 factors to x minus 2x plus 2. And now that we have all of them factored, we have a product of, in this case, 3 things that multiply together to give us 0. So we know from the zero product property that any of those things can be equal to 0. So step number 3. Set all of your factors equal to 0 and solve. So we have 3x is 0, x minus 2 is 0, and x plus 2 is 0. So x equals 0, 2, and negative 2. Let's try one more example before we finish. Let's solve the equation 2x times the quantity x plus 2 equals 12 minus x. Well, definitely that's not equal to 0, and we need to fix that, but we also need to distribute our 2x through. So that will give us 2x squared plus 4x equals 12 minus x. And then subtracting 12 and adding x to both sides. So subtracting 12 and adding x to both sides, we have 2x squared plus 5x minus 12 equals 0. Now 2x squared minus 5x plus 5x, minus 12 does factor two numbers that multiply to be negative 24, which was 2 times negative 12, and add to be 5, or 8 and 3, as long as the 8 is positive and the 3 is negative. So here's what we're going to do. I want to highlight my 8 and my 3 yellow because I'm going to use them, 2x squared plus 8x minus 3x minus 12 equals 0. I'm going to use them to break apart the 5x in the middle. So we had 2x squared plus 5x minus 12, and we unsimplified the 5x to be 8x and 3x. If you want more practice on this type of factoring, see my other video on factoring basics. Well, the point of it is this turns into a grouping problem because we now have 4 terms. So 2x squared plus 8x, I can factor out a 2x, leaving me with an x minus 4. Okay, and looking at the second pair, negative 3x and negative 12, we can factor out a 3 certainly, but the negative sign connecting the first pair to the second pair tells us we're going to take out a negative 3, leaving us with x plus 4 yet again. We should always get a match, x plus 4, so that we can factor the x plus 4 out like it's the greatest common factor, leaving us with 2x minus 3 equals 0. Now keep writing in your equals 0 because you don't want to forget the very last step. Set your factors equal to 0. X plus 4 equals 0, 2x minus 3 equals 0, so x equals negative 4, and 2x equals 3, so x equals 3 halves.